homebistro.com. Freshly prepared, home-delivered, restaurant-quality gourmet meals delivered straight to your home. Choose from over 50-plus gourmet meal options cooked by world-class chefs and delivered frozen, ready to eat within minutes and no commitment. Welcome to the one-shop gourmet food delivery, specializing in affordable options to eat right and feel great. 100% satisfaction guaranteed. Every ingredient is handpicked to the highest standard. And why you should buy from homebistro.com? Restaurant quality, made with natural ingredients, delivered right to your door. Overnight shopping is available. Diabetic, paleo, heart health, and vegetarian options to eat. Doing business since 1999. Courteous, knowledgeable, and professional support. Complete PCI compliant SSL security ordering, and great meals. Choose from some of my favorite dishes: the Mediterranean chicken with orange honey sauce, the charbroiled chicken romesco, or the grilled chicken breast with sweet and spicy vegetables. No matter what you choose, you can't lose with homebistro.com. Eat great, feel good, and save some money with homebistro.com. Hit the link in the description section below for more information. TheWhoThatDaily.com. That's right, TheWhoThatDaily.com. Your one-stop shop for everything New Orleans Saints, New Orleans Pelicans, LSU Tigers, even the top flight boxing. So if you're a Who That and you're looking for a place to stay up on your team, TheWhoThatDaily.com is your site. TheWhoThatDaily.com for the sport Who That in all of us.
You're listening to the PRO Media Network. The next level in entertainment.
On the PRO Media Network.
What's up, man? Welcome to another installment of Ring Kings Boxing World. We in the building, man. Much love to the Fight family chiming in on this episode of the show. We got a lot to talk about. We're going to recap this past weekend's boxing as much as we can. Also preview Tank Davis' upcoming matchup this weekend. A lot going on in the boxing world, man. I tell you, man, a lot of boxing, a lot of stuff. But anyway, I'd like to thank y'all for joining us. Please hit the like button. If you're not a subscriber, hit the subscribe button. And join Ring Kings Boxing World today as we keep it real on here. I'm Big Q chiming in on this edition of Ring Kings. I'm going to bring in my co-host, Eddie Too Mean Johnson. Too Mean, how you doing tonight, my friend?
What's going on, man? How you?
Doing good, my brother. We got a lot to talk about, man, this Father Day weekend, past Father Day weekend of boxing that occurred. Several really interesting fights. Charlo was in action, as well as Inoue was in action. Anderson Silva had a matchup with Silva Chavez Jr. And of course, ultimately, we want to talk about Gervonta Tank Davis against Mario Barrios. That's supposed to be coming up this next week, and we'll preview that as well. So without further ado, we'll get right into some of this great action that we'll talk about. To me, the Charlo bout, man, dealing with the Charlo, Jamal Charlo defeats Juan Montiel by unanimous decision to keep that 160-pound strap. And it wasn't an easy fight, you know, and Charlo was hitting this kid with some punches, man. And the guy was taking him and he kept coming to him. I thought the guy was half zombie or something. He was dead with feeling. But man, Charlo was lighting him up, but it wasn't enough to keep this kid away from him. I got to give this guy, Juan Montiel, a lot of credit, man. Not only did he take the punishment that Charlo was dishing out, and we know Jamal and his brother, they could hit, man. They got shotgun jabs. He was lighting this kid up, but this kid took it and was also returning punches that had him, Jamal swollen up in the fight. Now, I watched the fight, Eddie, like I said. I just think that it was a very, very interesting fight. I think Charlo could have had a lot more head movement. I didn't like seeing him take all that punishment. I think he's a little bit too quick, and he has to use his head movement a lot more and his quickness a lot more than I've seen him use against Montiel. What was your thoughts on the Jamal Charlo unanimous decision over Juan Montiel?
Oh, yeah, it was definitely a good fight, man. Action-packed fight. You know what I'm saying? That dude came to fight, man. And, Charlo realized now, like, you know what I'm saying, defending the title is harder than getting the title. You know what I'm saying? You got a bunch of hungry motherfuckers that want your spot, man. So it'd be difficult. But he gained good experience, man. And if it wasn't for his, say that awesome jab he got, I don't think the guy had, you know what I'm saying? He came to fight, but he didn't have enough skill to really pull, you know what I'm saying, to turn the tide of the fight into his favor. You know what I'm saying? He was just, you know what I'm saying, he had enough just to really make Charlo dig down a little bit, but not really take over the fight. You know what I'm saying? But, you know what I'm saying, thanks to Charlo's jabs, man, his determination is, hit him with enough pop to like, okay. He realized, like I say, he gaining some experience, man. So, you know what I'm saying, he gonna get better and better.
Yeah, I agree with you there too, man. I've seen, they said a unanimous decision. You can see the judges' rulings right there: 118, 109, 119, 109, and 120, 108 for him to retain that 160-pound strap. But he says I've never been cut. Charlo said in an interview with the gash over his eyes. But that guy was putting some pain on him too, man. That was a tough fighter, man. To be honest with you, that was a really tough fighter. And Montiel, he really was taking some really hard punches from Charlo, but was also hitting Charlo with some shots too. That was kind of backing him off. So, I mean, yeah, you're right. I agree with that assessment that he didn't have enough skill to be able to kind of really pose, I guess you could say, a danger to Charlo. But yeah, it was a really grimy fight with Charlo. It was, where there was just some heavy slugging going on. Now Charlo's 32-0 with 22 knockouts and took the showmanship 22-5 in 22 knockouts with Montiel's unusual approach and stride. Charlo picked his punches early, as it says there. What I said, like I said, I think Charlo a little bit more head movement from him in this fight. I didn't like to see him take all that punishment that he took, against Montiel. And Montiel could hit, man. He could take punishment. Credit to that kid. He's a really tough fighter. So with that being said, the WBC belt remained with Charlo, who continues to hold the sanctioning body's 160-pound title. Since becoming the middleweight champion in 2019, Charlo has never had a unification bout. Now, in his post-fight interview, Charlo stumped for the winner of the December's bout against Triple G and Murata for the WBA and IBF belts. Charlo said he doesn't intend on moving up to the super middleweight. 160 is my weight division, Charlo said. I want to unify, and that's how you're supposed to handle it. Hope Gary Russell Jr. takes a bit of a lesson here from what Charlo is telling them, is that, unify before you start talking shit about everybody else. Unify where you are. And then ultimately, if you feel like you've done enough, then move on. But before he finished talking about his future plans, Charlo couldn't help but salute Montiel one more time. He repeatedly called the challenger a warrior. And I got to agree, that's a tough ass fighter he fought in the fight. But moving on past that, to me, Charlo looking for unification, Triple G, and Murata for the WBA and IBF belts. How do you think that fight materializes?
I don't think Triple G he don't want that smoke, man. You know what I'm saying? They keep comparing, like I said before, he keep comparing him to Marvin Hagler with this nigga dodging motherfuckers, man. I'm like, come on, man. Triple G don't want it. You know what I'm saying? He want to take the easiest route out before he retire, because he know once he get in there with Charlo, his fucking career over with. So, but the other guy, I don't know too much about. But like I say, man, he getting better. So if they want to fight, they need to fight him now, because he getting better, man. They already can't beat him now. You know what I'm saying? While he still continue to grow, man, he really gonna put a hurting on their ass, especially Triple G's ass.
Yeah, yep. Triple G is definitely not looking at Charlo, but And there's news coming out that eventually down the line it could be another fight between Triple G and Canelo. He's chasing Canelo for another payday, and I think once he gets that, he'll probably step aside. And that's the talk is that one more payday fight, and Triple G, is going to back up out of this thing. So that's why he's chasing down Canelo. Almost similar to like what a Pacquiao who has one or two fights in him, according to what Freddie Roach said earlier this year and last year. So that's a part of it. Not most certainly he don't want to face Charlo. I agree with you on that because I think Triple G's style going up against Charlo could be problematic. Although if Charlo, we know Triple G can hit. We know that he can punch. If could Charlo withstand some of Triple G's power? I mean, this kid that we was fighting, Montiel, was hitting him with some shots. But what if that was Triple G in there and Charlo wasn't using his head movement and his speed? That could be problematic. Wouldn't you say?
I mean, he got a puncher's chance, definitely. But I think if he was to get in the ring with Charlo, it'll bring a whole nother beast out of Charlo, man. He'll come like with some shit we ain't never seen yet. You know what I'm saying? He'll bring out a whole nother level in him, man. So that's why I think, you know what I'm saying, Triple G, I think he know that too. You know what I'm saying? He trying to, like you said, he wants that payday with Canelo. I don't think that fight gonna ever happen again either.
Yeah, the word on the street is
that is an excuse not.
Right. Well, that's what they're saying. That word on the street is they saying they're trying to. He's looking for that. That's what he's pursuing and hoping to have that opportunity to face Canelo once again. He's trying to get that payday before he gets up out of here. All right, let's move on to the next bit of news right here, and it's going to deal with sensation Naoya Inoue, as he did in the matchup he fought this weekend, Tutu against a fighter named Michael Dasmarinas. And he really put Dasmarinas' ass in the water, no doubt about it. My bad, he couldn't handle the water because Inoue lit him up and dropped him several times with body shots to in this matchup. Little guy got power, man. And he continues to show it off in reckless abandon, man. And this interest of seeing this flashy bantamweight do what he do. Now, he defended his IBF and WBA bantamweight titles by knocking this fighter down several times in the ring, and it was mostly body shots. And he's 21-0 with 18 knockouts. And he pretty much chased Dasmarinas around, who's 30-3-1 with 20 knockouts, who also has a bit of power. And of course, like I said, he could not stand up to his body punching. And that was ultimately his downfall. Eddie, you've seen his fight. What you think about, in a way, how he took care of Dasmarinas in this matchup and how he continues to kind of move past and through the bantams, man, as well. Very impressive fighter.
Yeah, he definitely very, very impressive. He showcasing some serious power, man. I would still like to see if he can, if somebody was to give him just the same amount back, how he'll react to that. You know what I'm saying? Because when you in the ring fighting somebody with that type of power, man, you know what I'm saying, the first round, you don't hit him with something that'll, you know what I'm saying, shake him up. You looking for, you know what I'm saying, you're going to be a human punching bag in there with somebody like him. You know what I'm saying? That power frees him up to where he'll just be in survival mode. You know what I'm saying? You have to get his respect. Anybody who fights him, you got to get his respect in the first round. Make a fight out of it. But I would say a lot of these guys, so when they taste the power, it's like they go into survival mode and be a human punching bag up in there. So he's definitely, you know what I'm saying, he definitely has the power. So like I said, I want to see how his reaction when he get hit with some power back. Somebody who really coming to fight and shit, man. That's what I would like to see.
Yeah, me too. I would love to see that too, Eddie. I want to see some people challenge. In a way, he does have the power, but you're right. I want to see how complete of a fighter he is. And they were saying, according to the article, and also during the interview, they were saying that his next potential opponent was actually in the crowd watching him in Nonita Donaire. And Donaire he's a WBC bantamweight title holder, and he's fighting the WBO champion Casa Mayora on August the 14th. So the winner, in theory, would face Inoue to unify all four belts. So Inoue has two, And then you got these two fighters, each with a belt, which means that, this can line up eventually a title bout between either one of the fighters. The winners of the Dainere and Casemiro bout could end up fighting anyway for unification. So, I mean, these are two really good fighters, Dainere and Casemiro. And like I said, we have a couple of months before that fight is due, and that's going to be really a really good fight as well. So I guess we're going to have to wait and see what happens anyway. But I'm very impressed with this kid, man. He can fight and showing his power off, punishing Dasmarinas, knocking him down 3 times with body shots says a lot, man. The dude just couldn't withstand it. You can see when them guys are hitting you with those body shots, and that that stops a lot of them jabs and a lot of that too. Mean them arms get smaller and smaller, my friend.
Oh yeah, motherfucker take a lot out you, boy. Body shots. They should stick with you like luggage through the whole fight. You know what I'm saying? Them head shots, you can shake them off, but them body shots, shit, they stick to you like luggage, man.
Right, and he definitely put some pain on him, man. But let's move on to the next fight here. Anderson Silva, to me, an exhibition against Julio Cesar Chavez Jr. Now, you've seen that fight there, and actually it was a pretty good performance. A lot of people thought Anderson Silva would be kind of beyond his point and, not as good as, what you're thinking of. It's been a while since he actually fought. He hasn't boxed since '05 and had a couple of matchups with that. And we thought that coming into the matchup that Julio Cesar Chavez would ultimately win the fight. But Silva, who's a UFC legend, defeated Julio Cesar Chavez Jr. with a split decision by the judges 75-77, 77-75, and 77-75 in a shocking fashion in Mexico. So that was really interesting that he came out and had a pretty good performance. He was a big underdog in this fight, a major underdog. I remember a lot of the people was talking about it. To me, and you've seen this fight with Anderson Silva, man, the UFC star, came in and showed his boxing acumen and was able to and then beat Julio Cesar Chavez Jr. in split decision. What do you think about this one?
Oh yeah, I like Anderson Silva, man. He actually started off as a boxer and then moved to the UFC.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But I think he was in better shape. I don't think Julio Cesar Jr. I don't think he'd be taking his fights too seriously, man. You know what I'm saying? He always coming up short, man.
Living off legacy, is that what this is?
Yeah, I think that's what it is. He don't have that dog in him like his dad.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Every time he coming up, he keeps short. He keep coming up short, man. Anderson Silva was like way better shape. You know what I'm saying? And he was, you know what I'm saying, he was outboxing and shit. And you could tell Junior was getting a little tired too, man. He was gassing out and shit. So he must have ain't trained hard for it. But yeah, he always coming up short, man. So that was a good win for Anderson Silva. He gonna be able to move on to possibly an exhibition with Roy Jones that they've been trying to put together for a long time now.
We'd love to see that. That'll be interesting too. A little bit more in right up Roy Jones' spear right there, as opposed to Roy fighting Mike Tyson. You can see Roy was trying not to get hurt too bad in that fight, even though it looked like he was walking out there like he was Fred Sanford, man. Roy, I mean, it just he got a little old up there, but Anderson Silva would probably definitely be a better bout for Roy if they can put that together. Really interesting. But yeah, I watched this fight. I seen it. Anderson Silva really, he got kind of going a little later on in the fight. After the third round, he started dropping his hands and in freestyle, and then kind of making fun at Cesar Chavez Jr. But he started winning the crowd over. He started popping them, and he made it a show a bit. But Anderson Silva proved that whether it's MMA or boxing, the man could fight. So I mean, that's what it pretty much came down to. The man could fight his ass off, man. So be a good win by Anderson Silva, and I really would like to see that Roy Jones matchup, man. It's good to see them putting those classic fights like that together. Now, to me, let's move on into the next one, and you wanted to talk about this right here with Clarissa Shields. Now, she fought not this week, but the past week, and Clarissa was able to get the win against Brittany Elkins by TKO in her MMA debut. So, I mean, What do you think about Carissa's debut in MMA? She got the win there. She did the grappling thing, and you seen her punching them. But is it too much for her to be doing the MMA and the box? I know she dominates in the boxing spectrum, but wasn't a bad performance in MMA by Carissa Shields. But what do you think about her performance?
It was a great first debut. For her debut, it was a great fight for her, man. And she proven herself over and over again, man. You know what I'm saying? I don't know why they ain't giving her flowers while she alive. All the shit she accomplished, man. Because she a female. And she, like I said, she didn't dominate boxing. She went in, you know what I'm saying? She trained to be an MMA fighter and made her debut and was successful. You know what I'm saying? I was like, they need to give her props, man. You know what I'm saying? A lot of the, matter of fact, like we said before, a lot of them dudes need to take her lead, man. You know what I'm saying? She fighting up but champions in boxing. You know what I'm saying? She stepping in somebody else's arena, you know what I'm saying, and pulled the win off. So definitely big ups to her, man.
Yeah, she is definitely the case, man, with Carissa Shields, man. Carissa's she's doing stuff never been done before. And it's just amazing that she doesn't get the credit that she deserves. But I mean, in the end, I think she eventually will get it to me. She just has to keep on doing what she's doing, and I think that's the big part about it. Now, the next thing is where does she go from here? You know, what's gonna what does she do now? And she's of course an Olympian, two-time Olympian, she's a three-time Division Pro boxing title holder, and she plans on fighting boxing again before the end of the year and will continue to compete in the sport. But her focus is now MMA. She's 26 and has picked up a new sport very well. And our coaches have been working on her pretty well. So she's saying she wants to box by the end of the year. We don't know what that fight will be. But I think that Clarissa just has to keep on doing what she do. And ultimately, you can't deny her the roses that you speak about. She just have to keep doing it. Like I said, she's still what she had like altogether, like about 13, 14 fights or something like that, 15 fights.
Mm-hmm.
So she's still kind of young in this thing. She just got to keep on doing what she's doing, maintain those fights, keep beating those contenders, and just keep moving. And I think she'll get all that credit and then some.
Yeah, she definitely hope so, man. I was like, I'm saying I hate to bring up race, but she was a white girl doing what she did it. Man, she would have had so many endorsement deals. She would have already fought for $1 million purse, man. Accomplishing what she had accomplished already. You know what I'm saying?
Right. Well, I think some of that's a part of it. But like I said, she just has to keep fighting, and I think she'll get all that and then some. All right, let's move it to the preview aspect of the show too, Mean. Big fight coming up this weekend. Mario Barrios versus Gervonta Tank Davis is going down, man. And of course, a lot of talk been said. And of course, Ellerby, who's on Tank's side of things, saying got kind of heated and said Tank is going to beat the what out of this kid, But it's pretty interesting because Leonard Ellerby don't really jump in there, so something must have happened for him to get all spicy about it. But Tank Davis looks to become the 3-weight world champion against Mario Barrios in Atlanta. It may be the fight that everyone wanted. Might not be, but Gervonta Davis is looking to build on last year's epic knockdown of Leo Santa Cruz. He almost killed Leo Santa Cruz in that fight. And Mario Barrios, when the two go head-to-head for the WBA super lightweight title, Barrios may not be one of the 4 horsemen of the lightweight division that most boxing fans will have wanted Davis to face, but this still should be a very tough fight for Tank in his first venture into the 140-pound division, but he'll be able to deliver devastating knockouts that fans have been accustomed to, or has Davis bitten off more than he'd chew. Here's how you can watch it. And of course, you see it there, June the 26th, 9 p.m. Eastern time on the fight on the Zone. So they're showing you there where you can fight and pick it up.
It's Showtime.
Showtime. Yeah, Showtime pay-per-view as well. So there you go. Yeah, U.S. Showtime pay-per-view. So there it is to me. So you see with Barrios' record and bio, you can see he's 5'10", got that 71-inch reach. Total fights 26. He 26-0 with 17 knockouts. He got some power there. Tank Davis record there. As you can see, he's 5 feet 5 inches. 60 got that 67.5 inch reach. 24 fights, 24-0 with 23 knockouts. A lot of power there, a lot of knockout power there. And we'll see. And of course, they're showing you the undercard. You got an interesting undercard because Jason Rosario, if you remember him too, mean.
Oh yeah.
He lost to he beat J Rock. He beat J Rock and took his belt. And then Charlo demolished him and took his belt. So you'll see him in action against Erickson Lubin. How about that, to me?
Oh yeah. I'm gonna see that. I'm gonna see how that fight goes, man. I'm gonna see if Lubin gonna pull it off, man.
That's a good fight right there, to me, because Rosario has the power and the height. But man, a lot of flaws in his game were kind of exposed by Charlo. But Erickson Lubin is a dude that you've been really high on, bro.
Oh yeah. After Charlo hit him, knocked him out in the first round, and he been, you know what I'm saying, he's been having a successful comeback. So we'll see what happens, man. But he still got Charlo to deal with again if you want the belt. Yeah.
And then, of course, also on undercard at the welterweight level, Julian J Rock Williams against Brian Mendoza at the welterweight, just a welterweight bout right there. So it's good to see J Rock back in action again.
I thought I heard something about they canceled that fight.
Did they?
Yeah, I think so. I'm not sure.
Okay.
I think I heard something about them canceling that one.
Okay. Well, the J Rock, was it?
I think it's the other guy.
Mendoza. No, it was Julian. Julian Williams injured, won't fight Davis on undercard. Yeah, that was that's J Rock is hurt, so he won't. Yeah, he got hurt, and he won't fight Brian Mendoza. There's no word if they replace Mendoza, J Rock on undercard or not. And this was about 9 hours ago. So it says Julian Williams injured, won't fight Brian Mendoza on the undercard. And they said was supposed to face him. The Philadelphia native hasn't fought since he was stopped in 5 and an upset loss to Jason Rosario in 2020. And they said also Williams is hoping the injury isn't serious and that he can reschedule with Mendoza, who may or may not be able to get a very short notice replacement and stay on the pay-per-view card. So that's pretty rough for Mendoza as well as Jay Williams to be able to get a last-minute replacement. That'll be really tough, man. I don't know if he would want to pull that off, man. You just throw a guy in there that you ain't trained for. But I guess that's just how it is sometimes. But yeah, this will be interesting. Let's talk about this too, Mean. Tank Davis and Barrios. How does this play?
I think Tank Davis' speed is going to be surprising to Barrios. You know what I'm saying? And then when he starts getting touched on, man, you know what I'm saying? Because Tank, he got that type of power, man. When he starts touching on you, he actually breaks your ass down. You know what I'm saying? I'm talking about guys that are in great shape, like Leo Santa Cruz. He was in great shape, but he got broke down, man. So that's the type of power you're dealing with when it comes down to Tank. You know what I'm saying? Plus, he got great boxing skills that he don't really display because he ain't, you know what I'm saying? Nobody really forced it out of him. But I think Tank breaks him down and knocks him out. You know what I'm saying? Because I don't think this guy, he ain't never been in the ring with nobody like no Tank. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's gonna be a tough fight for Barrios, man. And I see his record there. But man, listen, Tank Davis, it's the reason why he has as many fights as he has knockouts. I mean, he has legitimate knockout power, and he's in it. And people forget that he's also quite skilled. I mean, he can box and he can slug. He's very talented, man. But like I said, but credit to him fighting a dangerous fighter like Barrios, who does have power.
Right.
Got to give him credit for that too, mean as well moving forward, because he could run and kind of put together fights like Canelo Alvarez is doing against soup cans and guys that donating their belt to him. So a lot of credit has to be given to Tank Davis.
Yeah, Tank Davis, he wants to be great, so he's like, man, he's taking the risk. You know what I'm saying? It ain't gonna be an easy win, but I think he's gonna pull it off. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, it's gonna be a good fight, man. It's gonna be a real good fight. Yeah.
Well, that'll do it for this episode of Ring Kings Boxing, man. We'll be back and cover some more news and notes coming down the way. We also know about Tyson Fury and Deontay Wilder. A lot going on there. Anthony Joshua is throwing out some smoke to Alexander Usyk, saying that Alexander Usyk does not, offer a risk to him at all, which is not really a smart statement to say because Alexander Usyk can box his ass off, man. So, I mean, that might give him a motivation to fuck you up. Ain't a good idea. But outside of that, we'll talk about other news, notes, and items dealing with boxing as well. A lot of great boxing matchups as well that we covered. We covered a handful of them here. But also, honorable mention is Jaime Mugaya. He was able to get his work in as he defeated Sarameta, who was a guy that fought Triple G not too long ago. And he was able to kind of stop Sarameta after 6. Matter of fact, he quit on his stoop, couldn't continue to fight. But Jaime is a very interesting fighter. He has to, and the thing about Jaime is he has power, but he has to kind of, I just want to see him use some more head movement, man. He take way too much punishment for fighters that got power, man. So that could be problematic for him in the future. But really excited about Jaime Mugaya and how he's been fighting as of loose. So a lot of really good fight. Isaac Adogbo also won his fight this past weekend as well. So a lot of great action that occurred in the boxing world on this past Father's Day weekend. Really great boxing. So with that being said, I'd like to thank you guys for spending your last 30 plus minutes with us here at Ring Kings. Please feel free to hit the subscribe button. If you're not a subscriber, please feel free to share the show links on your social media feed and hit the like button above all. I'm Big Q chiming in on this episode of Ring King with my host Eddie Too Mean Johnson. And I thank y'all, and we'll see you later on another installment of Ring Kings Boxing. Peace.
Peace.
TheWhoThatDaily.com. That's right, TheWhoThatDaily.com. Your one-stop shop for everything New Orleans Saints, New Orleans Pelicans, LSU Tigers, even the top flight boxing news. So if you're a Who That and you're looking for a place to stay up on your team, TheWhoThatDaily.com is your site. TheWhoThatDaily.com for the sport Who That.